go and look at chat and it's already got like a bunch of stuff in it. I was confused. You good? On time. Yeah, pretty close actually. I was playing Slay the Spire and I was on the boss of the third act and I was like super close. I was on time last time, maybe, kind of, probably not. What are we doing? Screaming. We're just doing more cleanup. There was one of these I needed to do some stuff. That was ran smoke. User helpers for. Oh. Yeah, I know what that was. Okay, just want to make sure. Oh yeah, this one. I think. Is this one already being worked? No. Does it say... Oh, it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say you worked on that one a lot.
There it is. Okay, I thought Jiggle Bones was on the outside. Okay.
You got a brain! Woo! Now put the brain on this rocket.
Oh, I gotta fix her eye lights too. Because, it's a little low right there. Blur to Blast says hi to real life you.
Yeah, because I was chatting them up. I was starting fights.
I saw that. Because I go to look at chat and I'm like, oh shit, was I streaming by accident or something?
No.
Which I've had a fear of accidentally doing.
I remember Jay one time, he left the stream on one night, he was drinking, and he went to sleep with it on. Like, and the camera was pointed right at his bed, so we just all watched him sleep. And, I think somebody eventually caught him and said, dude, your stream's so on, wake up and turn it off. I mean, I'm glad he didn't, like, do something he wasn't aware of.
Well, that's why, whenever I go to put my webcam away, I turn it up so that it's right at the ceiling, too. Because people can access things. I'm not gonna... I've heard of horror stories with that, so if it takes just 1 second to turn it up, I will do it.
Well, Jay was J-level drunk, so I don't think he was aware. I think he, before he even laid down in bed, there was at least an hour where he was completely quiet on the stream. Because there was like a good 15 minutes where he was just texting me on his phone.
I think it's funny, though. Oh, you know what the weirdest part is, though? That you just sat and watched it.
No, I tried messaging him in the chat, but he wasn't looking at the chat.
Well, he wasn't going to chat because he wasn't streaming.
And then he laid down, and I was like, is he going to sleep? Because I thought he was like still streaming. He was just being goofy, because he was talking to the stream for a while, just rambling. And then I think at some point he just stopped realizing he was streaming. And then, like, he was drunk.
There was not long ago, a guy had. Oh, I did that backwards. A guy had fell asleep while streaming, just while he was doing it. So he just was like kind of like louched over sleeping, and his follower count like went up from like 10 or 15 to like 500 because everybody's just like, guy's sleeping. And so like you can just watch him, and then he kind of just does like a shakes and kind of looks around, looks at the stream, and goes, oh, what happened? And so he ended up chatting with these few hundred people for a while.
Holy crap. That's how you need to get more people to watch it. You just need to fall asleep.
Yeah, that's the people sat around because the guy was sleeping. They called in their friends.
Come watch this guy's. It's amazing. Well, I was a little confused at first. Like, is he just laying down for a second? What's happening? And he's just like, okay.
Oh, that's what the problem is here.
Apparently we're going to solve it.
Oh. Oh, he might have saw the one that I saw.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
talking about. Yeah, I didn't actually. I wasn't like there when it streamed, but I was. I just read an article about it. That was funny. I don't disconnect mine because it's plugged into the back of my computer. The cord runs around, and I don't have a cord on the webcam. So the only way to actually disconnect it is annoying. So I could get an extension or something for it, but really, as long as it's turned to the ceiling, I'm fine. There's nothing audio-wise that's incriminating. It's not like I'm over here just like rambling off my social security number or anything that I know
all those
of.
drug deals you like to do. I'm just kidding.
We don't talk about that. And even if there was, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It's a bunch of gamers.
You don't know those pixie sticks. All that sugar.
Now put the drain on.
Okay, there, the eyes are fixed. Ah, okay. Now that makes sense. And I used to have it where it was on the monitor and it was a lot easier to play with, but now I have to actually disconnect from like if you can put it on my desk because it screws in. I have to, while it's collapsed, screw it on and then hook it to my desk. If I do it, hook it to the desk after, if I screw it on, then hook it to the desk, or if I hook it to the desk, I have the cord gets wrapped around like 5 times, and I have to. So I've messed up on the order before.
I'm curious why you don't just put it on top of your computer monitor like most people.
Because then it's much, much closer. I like having it further away, plus when people come to visit. So, no, I don't like having the straight on bit because, I don't know, it feels like so, I don't know, it doesn't feel right. I like having it to the side because then when I'm actually talking with people where chat is, I'm looking over at chat. I don't have any, I thought about getting them set up so I could have it more for there, but that'd be more like if I was going pro or something and
Your setup's pretty pro.
well, the TV was fun. I like having the TV.
Yeah.
I used it way more than I thought I would. I thought I wasn't going to use it for shit, and I was just getting it for nothing. Only thing is, I get a 4K TV and I play Switch on it. Switch only outputs in 1080. But I was playing Shadow of War in 4K on it. That was really pretty. But then even then, I play 4K. But I'm sitting further away, and I don't like wearing my glasses from that distance, so it ends up being that any quality that's there I lose because I'm not wearing my glasses. So I don't know, but it wasn't bad because it was only like 230 for the TV.
Yeah.
And it was I got a $100 gift card from work at that time, so I used it towards that. So in a way, it wasn't really that expensive.
Nice.
Yeah, the straight on just doesn't work for me. I like the side thing. Plus, since it's on an arm, I have a lot more flexibility for it. And Problem is, I can't actually detach because it screws on. I can't detach it. But the only reason I have the screw on is because I needed to get that for the webcam. Because I had the arm for mic, but I didn't like. The mic was weighing it down because it's a cheap one, so it didn't work very well. So then when I needed to do panels where showing cards on a table, I got an adapter at the end to work with the webcam. Then when I got rid of my other monitor, I'm like, well, actually, I have an alternative for that.
You got a brain.
Yeah.
Got a brain. Woo!
Okay, so it's just jiggle hair 1 and 2.
Put the brain on this rocket.
Well, yeah, these are not the ones I want to do. Out of all the hair on her, these are the only ones I really don't want to do. Oh. It's like, wait, I didn't save it at all, but that's the one that doesn't.
Got a brain. Woo! Now put the brain.
You know it kills me every time.
I'm just still worried about the amount of blur on the hooves.
Oh, but it's so adorable though. It's worth every bit of blur.
What was I doing this in? Wrong one. 30. Okay. I think that's for 30. Yeah, it is. shutter speed.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure 24 frames was 0.0208. But I want to make sure because otherwise you're gonna have because if you go to like so if you have the hoof up here like this, ooh, so this is what it would look like right now, and then let's put this to 1 second.
Oh no.
Because it's keeping the shutter open for a full second, so 24 frames worth it's blending across. So, but then if you put this at 0, you're gonna have literally, wow, it doesn't even let me.
There you go.
This is how it reduced, but the whole point of motion blur is to create a blend between 2 points. So you can see this blurs between here and here, but now this only blurs between here and here, so there's this gap where things aren't connecting, and therefore it's going to look stuttery. So if you have the correct amount for the shutter speed, the amount of blur, so like her hoof scale goes this far, and if I go to the next frame, it's the blurs are connecting or touching at least, so that helps. But I mean, if you have something move fast enough, it's going to look stuttery because you're going to whatever. But it's just going to be literally one big blur going across the screen.
There's always more frames per second. Some of those things are going to 60 frames per second. But
no, it looks stupid bad. I've tried it on different things, and it just I did it for
Full Metal Alchemist one?
Yeah, and I think I even have. It's not going to work on stream, but I do show it during. Where's my videos for this? It must be under videos. Yep, there.
I don't know if it looks bad or if it looks bad because I'm not used to it.
It looks bad because you have to. If you do very smooth animation, a low frame rate still looks very good. If you do very smooth animation and do a high frame rate, it looks overly smooth, and you have to like animate in the slowdowns. So you have to have because there's ease in and ease out. If you're too smooth, so if you're just doing this, it's gonna look super bad. You're supposed to do it like this, and I thought I had one here. Oh yeah, but it's probably not. Yeah, it's not gonna work on stream. So like this is 60 FPS, and this looks more actiony than that one does. So it's and to do that, it's a 60 frames per second video where the 30 frames per second is just locking every other frame. Hello. But no, I recommend 30 frames per second or 24. I do not recommend doing 60. If I'm making like a Rathalos GIF on Twitter or something, I'll put it for 60. But anything else, I really don't. And even then, I don't even know if the videos you can do in 60. The GIFs you can't.
Isn't the standard for Japanese animation still like 16 frames per second
or less?
Or less.
But it just depends. But again, that's hand-drawn images. So they have sometimes. The only reason they have a higher is because like if they're panning or something, then it'd be stuttery otherwise. But if they're doing the animation itself has varying frame rates. I think they probably have a standard they follow, but they're going to probably have multiple frames that are the same or not.
I remember a lot of old Japanese animes just had the still frame with just the mouse moving. Like some old DBZ episodes, and even like Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah, real cheap.
The math for shutter speed, I mentioned it before, but for anybody that needs it, it's 1 divided by the frame rate. So, or 1 divided by double the frame rate. So if you have, so in this case I have a 30 FPS video, so it's 1 divided by double, which would be 60. So that'd be 0.0167, because it rounds to the nearest fourth for SFM. If you're doing 24, it's 1 divided by 48, so double 24, and that's 0.0208. And then if you do 60 frames per second, it's 1 divided by 120, which is 0.0083. So SFM, when you go to, I'll see if it lets me do this. If you select the frame rate here, it will automatically default the shutter speed on any camera you make to the frame rate that you set here. So that's one of the reasons that it's not just for the file itself, but it's so that it locks in the correct shutter speed. If you change it within the session here, it should, for any new ones created, automatically do that for the camera, but I double check it anyway, just in case. But yeah, if you do that, you're going to get the best possible motion blur on anything you do.
Got a brain! Woo! Now put the brain on this rocket.
Okay, so
You got a brain! Woo! Now put the brain on this rocket.
okay, the hair does pretty good except for at the
Got a
end,
brain! Woo! Now put the brain.
but I don't like it right about this point. Right here.
Now put the brain on this rocket. Now
Oh, no, nope, it's right here.
Now, 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 now put the brain on this rocket.
So that's all detailed, and then the other one's not at all, which sucks.
That face.
So I'm gonna see if I can copy from the other one, kind of, because the other one has got lots of detail. Oh, I might just freehand it. So I need to make sure I match the amount of detail.
Got a brain. Got a brain.
He's so squishy. You want another one? Or you still working on that one?
No, you can bring another. I've done enough with it. There you go. Done enough.
Done that enough.
Hmm?
You've done that enough.
No, that it was done enough.
Oh,
I like my little.
seems cool.
I got it from work. Got these little. It's Hammerschlagen. It was a game where they had like nails on a thing, and you had a hammer with a very small end, and you had to like swing it down and hit it in one swing. And you had a certain amount of tries, and you had to hand it to the next person. And if you won, you get the thing. It was just a work event, so it was a free thing. So I got it for free, and played against my sister and won. But that guy then, after we were done, because they just went and nailed them all in afterwards. It's like, yeah, he comes out there, goes bam, 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 like he one hits. I'm like, well, okay, I guess the guy that runs the game knows how to play the game. Good thing I wasn't playing against him.
Blah. He is drinking mead. I am drinking cider.
No. It's mead. Needs light. Yes, sparkling honey. It's cider made out of honey, essentially. It's a local place that's just like 10 miles east of here. We go there sometimes and pick up stuff off the tap too. They make cider, that's their big thing, and they're really good.
This raspberry cider that Woodchuck makes, though, it's probably my new favorite drink right now. I'll get bored of it eventually.
Now, the nice thing with these is they're low sugar because I cut out sugar from my diet, so they're only 5 grams of sugar per can, and I can drink also a bunch more of them without feeling gut rot from sugary stuff. I'm not a big beer fan, and so they're local, and the place across the street, the liquor store sells them, so super convenient.
Anybody in our group? I guess Jay likes beer.
No, John loves beer. Kyle drinks beer all the time.
I've never seen
Kyle gets beer a lot of times when we go out to eat. He'll get a beer. John keeps the list of all these new unique beers he tries, so he's always getting a beer somewhere.
I can't stand it. I think it's nasty.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of beer too, but to one's own.
Yeah, I guess. I feel like it's an acquired taste.
I think that I think my distaste for beer isn't as much about the beer itself, just that I'm normally not drinking good quality beer. There's a big difference.
It's always so bitter to me.
But some people like the bitter or the tart.
Well, it's not tart, it's just straight up bitter. Like, I like coffee, but it's like eating the coffee grounds. What that does.
But like coffee, I can drink black coffee fine now because it's just, I've learned it. But I think it's part of your brain where when you have a lot of stuff that's a good version of it, your brain just starts associating those pleasures with the other things. So it may still taste bad, but your brain's saying, that's good. It's good. And you just start having it. So coffee I used to think was absolutely disgusting. But now I think it's delicious.
Well,
and I love it.
Coffee was disgusting when I was a kid, but I found out later that my dad put his cigarettes out in his old coffee cups, and that was my first time I tried coffee. I essentially drank cigarette ashes.
Oh.
Yeah, so I had a bag the first time. I like coffee now, but nothing's ever had to convince me that cider is bad, good or bad. It was good the first time I touched it.
That's essentially fruit juice.
It's delicious.
Yeah, it's because in America, it's like a lot of people drink the cheapest stuff they can find, and
The Bud Light.
spiced rum is good. Yeah, Bud Light's like at my parents' over July 4th. They one of them grabbed a beer and goes to my brother and says, "Hey, do you want a beer?" And he's like, he looks and goes, "Oh no." He goes, "No, I don't drink that kind." And I'm like, "Oh, finally somebody got some taste." And then he goes, "Oh wait, it's Coors Light." No, never mind. Apparently. I mean, I think, like I said, a lot of it is if you have a lot of good social interaction around a lot of people that are drinking a similar kind of beer, you're going to associate a certain flavor with the social atmosphere. So if you drink Coors Light and you've had a lot of good experiences, it's going to taste good. Same thing probably with coffee and a bunch of other stuff. So
I just like coffee. I just stop myself from drinking it because I'm trying to avoid caffeine.
it's so delicious, though.
I had that one coffee from the last time I went to the Mall of America. I was sweating.
Well, yeah, if
I
you
was as jittery as could be.
anytime, like, I plan my coffee drinks around things. So if I'm gonna go to a convention, I'll sometimes cut it out beforehand if I know I'm not gonna have access to coffee because I don't want to have a caffeine headache at the convention. I cut it out for a full month before, or no, 3 weeks when I learned about my new job.
Yeah, I was just saying that the same way.
But it makes you wired if once you get addicted to it and you're adjusted to it, then it doesn't make me wired. I like this morning I had a 20-ounce coffee, and I felt that I just went back to normal from it. But that's all coffee does after a while. Is you think that it's giving you energy, but all it is really putting you back to normal from below normal. That's why before I started my job, 3 weeks before, and I cut out all coffee, suffered through it, so that the week that I started my new job, on that Monday, I started drinking coffee again, and I started smaller, and then I grew it up again. So that first 2 weeks, I was super alert because the caffeine was working. But then then after I got acclimated again, now I'm back to not feeling it anymore.
At the height of my caffeine addiction, I was drinking double shot Starbucks coffees, iced coffees, and downing them with black ice caffeine pills. It got me through college. But
I did no-dose in college for a while until my parents found out, and then they kind of asked a question about it because I was doing a full-time job at a trucking company, 40 hours a week. I was doing full-time college, 16 credits, and working Fridays and Saturdays at Walmart. I was just too much.
I was working in Dry Ridge, Kentucky, and 3 days a week for evening classes. I would drive down to Louisville, Kentucky to take my classes, which were 6 hours long. I would get out of class around midnight, and I'd have a 2-hour drive home at 2 in the morning, at which point I would get home and have to be at work at 9. So I took caffeine pills.
Yeah. All it does is give you a heart attack.
I fell asleep on the wheel one time.
Yeah.
The only thing that woke me up, and I was lucky it wasn't something more solid, was one of those big orange barrels. Those things construction workers put down.
Mm-hmm.
I fell asleep behind the wheel, and that's what clipped my car. Smashed the mirror on the driver's side. But I'm lucky that's all it was.
Yeah, I like my caffeine, but if I feel that I'm starting to need too much of it, I cut it out. So
I remember driving home one night after taking the caffeine pill and just being exhausted, and there was like this blackout moment where I did not remember the drive between the gas station and home. Like, I got out of my car, I'm like, wait, what? It was kind of one of those moments. And I looked into some of the side effects, and that was one of them. But those caffeine pills, it's basically just short-term memory loss. And I had it. I only one time, but it freaked me out.
Okay, I think... Oh, no. I haven't done... Did I manually do these yet? No, haven't touched them yet. Oh. I thought since I marked these that they were done. Oh. When she sees new book. She's like, book.
No.
Book.
No, darling, no. Bad
Book.
No, too much book. She's like, bring me book. Isaac, no. She wants book.
Let's put her head back on. There we go.
Oh, she needs that.
She does. Okay, so these are tail. Oh, no, not tail. Hair tail. Oh no, I didn't have tail selected. That's must have been what it was. No, okay, so her hair tails do look done. You consider these hair tails.
Oh, okay.
But I don't like the end of it. Her head pulls back and they don't really move. Okay, so if I grab right here, There we go. And then her ears. Yeah, I have to fix those too. Hmm? What?
I was looking at her face. She's getting right now. She's like, ooh. Just looking above the glasses, like.
There we go.
You're torturing me now. He's so cute.
Okay, so the problem with the ear is that a lot of the wobble is like sideways. I don't know why. Like, what the hell is that? I don't mind a little bit of that wobble, but it's always so much. So at here, it probably should use for a little bit. Just put this full down there. What the hell is that? Don't clip. Actually, that's why I haven't really noticed it, because it is hiding. This is such minor motion, but
Probably drive you even more insane if you saw it after you posted it.
oh well. There's a lot of stuff that you don't notice until it's rendered, because you see it with motion blur, you see it at a consistent frame rate, and you notice way more things. And I've learned that, like, that's one thing that if I didn't, what to do to make it so that I'll catch it before then. But sometimes it's just so much little things that you go into the render and you're like, oh, it looks fine. Oh shit. Here's another one that clips right there. And this one I'm just going to get rid of the whole bit right here. And even this one I don't have to worry about too much, because there's so much, there's going to be motion blur. So that part doesn't matter. This part matters a little bit more. Okay. that's fine. Okay, and now that.
Cover up those pointy pits.
Yeah. No, Twilight, it's behind you!
It's going to.
No!
It bound to her.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, maybe too slow, but. Okay, with the motion blur, it's even more actually noticeable here, so I do have to fix it here. I was like, if you can't see it, I'm not going to bother with it. So from here to here. It's going to be a fun balance to find. Damn it.
Yeah, you gotta see it.
Not really. That's the wing. Okay, so this is exactly what the camera is going to see from up close.
I think it's alright.
There's one little frame right there, and the rest is gone. Let's do the same thing in there. Okay. Okay, fixed. Can't see it here. Is that her? Oh, you can. Damn.
Just color.
No. Because it's using SSAO, which means that it's not using realistic lighting, it's using artificial lighting. So the engine is going to see two separate models, so it's going to color the shading completely different at that edge. So you're going to see basically what looks like a brown pit stain.
I mean, she has more hard.
Yeah, but that's why I tried doing that with one other thing. If you use like black, you can still see the lighting edges that are different. It doesn't work.
Yeah, plenty of it.
So that's the start of it to here. It might be an easy one. Okay, once it's there, it's easy. Kind of. I don't like how it makes it look like her arm is like broken there, but We're just gonna have to assume broken. But in the middle here, in transitionary period, there is. A lot of times you can just pull it forward. It might break it in the back, but who cares if it's not on camera? Okay, so that's her suit fixed. The only thing I have left to do is her wings. I want to fix this part right now. Okay, so all the major stuff is done. Okay, so when she goes forward like this, we're going to have the wing pull forward a little bit. I'm actually going to turn this up, turn this back more. Bouncy is what I usually try to go for because they're colorful icons. They should be bouncy.
Yes.
Like Rathalos, I'm usually not so bouncy with. I'm a little rougher with him.
He's not cute though.
But I've been kind of just doing bouncy because I don't know. It's you could make Rathalos adorable too.
What? I don't ever watch Mick Rathlow's videos and think to myself, boy, sure he adds in a makeup. I think he adds in a makeout scene.
Well, I don't have any makeout scenes with Rathalos yet.
Finally goes back to shipping video. He's like, yeah, I made a shipping video. Really? With who? Rathalos. Just in my face. This is
Rathalos in a tree.
No, that poor tree.
Poor Rathalos. This is why he doesn't do acid.
Tree. He did acid, that's why he's making out with the tree. Makes sense.
No, it makes trees.
Oh, that's how trees are born.
No, so trees are made. I don't think they're born from that.
Well, I don't know who's having the tree. Is it Rathalos or the tree?
Well, Rathalos is male.
Well, I get that, but I'm very confused how a tree and a dragon are procreating in the first place.
You're the one that brought it up.
It's enough about a dream.
Twilight's on drugs.
Well, clearly. The premise of this video.
Yeah, I guess. No, you know what? I'm going to keep that, and we're just going to reduce it. I feel like it's too much of the same motion right in a row. Just do like half reduction. Yeah, that's fine. I think, if anything, just a little delayed going down. And like you can see here, like the back of the body doesn't move at some parts here. Mm-hmm. So the wings are my way of hiding that. If the wings are moving, it makes it look like everything back there is moving.
Makes sense. But imagine wings are part of the back muscles. Either way. Never had wings myself, you know, for sure.
But yeah, it's nice. I can utilize it to. I can animate them, which is just physics, instead of having to actually do the back where things are messy.
God, I looked super high there. These faces.
Now put the brain on this rocket. Now put the now put the brain on this rocket. Now put the brain on now put the brain on this on this rocket. On this rocket. On this rocket. Brain on this rocket. This rocket. This rocket. This rocket. On this rocket. On this rocket. Rocket. Rocket.
Okay. Now, right wing. Since I can't see it so much, I didn't care so much about it. But when certain things happen on the other side, one side, I have to match it on the other. So it's a lot. Just making what's visible have to match. We're almost done with this part.
Now put the brain on this rocket.
Okay, now I think I have to get away with not moving it afterwards.
Now put the brain on this rocket. This rocket.
No, I could have her, like...
You know what else is cute on ponies?
Have her point and be like, there. Oh, her whole wing came with.
And they stick their tongues out. That's
You know I can make that really creepy, right?
what, sticking their tongues out?
Yeah.
I don't know if a pony can be creepy. They're just too adorable to be creepy. It's like, I have something to show you. Pictures. Oh no. He's still cute though. I watch you.
Maybe did that one. Do you know which pony that is?
It's Rainbow Dash.
I think it was. I thought it was Lyra. It might be because at this point it's just Poem.
It's Bone. Word was just distressed by this. There's Velvet.
I got some
Happy.
creepies.
It's hard to. They're still not creepy. They're still adorable. I still want to whoop them. Yes. That horse needs lots of boots. Best horse, by the way, Lord. Why? Oh, I remember you made that for
Anthology.
Yeah, which one was it?
5. Yeah, it was Anthology 5. They did a postcard ending, so everybody had to make a postcard. And I was gonna do it with the cherry, but then I think Jay took the cherry, and I'm like, God fucking damn it! So I had to go and do something else. So I picked Paul Bunyan.
It's actually Paul Bunyan's a nice thing I did.
So it's supposed to be it's Paul Bunyan and the Babe the Blue Ox.
Yeah,
so I did and redid the text. I said Paul Bunyan and Dash his blue pony.
Rainbow's the blue.
That's why she's got horns.
I see that now. I had it pointed out to me years later. Oh no.
I have some other weird ones in here.
That's your OC, who's a female, but not. Yes.
Oh yeah, this I never really. Oh no, I think I did release a version of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's animated.
That's a muffin.
Can't remember why I needed that. I think it was for
Something derpy.
I think it's for the menu. Oh yeah, the Celestia face. So there's Adam's avatar. It's not gonna let me auto move on. Okay. Here's that one.
She's breakdancing.
This is the thing though. Yeah, this is before doing texture cleanup because it was the older version of the model. Yeah, that was rough.
This is all your Celestia stuff?
Yeah, my Celestia face.
Oh, Celestia face. You just...
This is again before cleanup. How bad that model was at the time.
She punching. Oh no, she got the meat. Grr.
I think this was the first picture I made for it, and I just went with it.
That's the one I remember the most. I still see that one pop up from time to time.
Do you know how stupid this thing is? Okay, Derpy Brew.
Yeah, I think it's the reason I see it a lot. Can't spell your name.
No, it's spelled right. No space, apparently. Oh, there it is. Oh, I have to hit search. Oh, it got beat. Yeah, this one was 1,100 thumbs up.
Hey, you got beat by that one you made me for my birthday.
Yeah, your birthday present a while back.
Yeah. But I have seen that one in other places, just randomly on the internet.
Yeah, that one was stupid popular for the longest time. It was like top in your comments-wise, 115.
Yeah, comments-wise, so it's more comments than anything else. But
I'm glad this one's the top. I don't even think I posted this one. I think somebody else did. Nope, I posted that one. This one is, I think somebody else posted. Yeah, Swan Song did. I haven't even looked at what the most recent is on these.
That one you made a rainbow backing up. Adorable.
That's a derby video. It's the one of first spinning on the chair. Hold on. I used to go through here and see what people had posted. Semi-grimdark.
What did you get semi-grimdark over? You gotta click on it to find out.
This was really cool. Somebody made fan art of that picture. That's...
If you just click on it.
I know. Oh.
Semi-grimdark is Twilight 18 to them, I don't. Dead.
Something fishy.
Oh no.
I like this. That's good. No, I used to go through there every now and then just to see what people are posting. If I make a video or something, there's usually a bunch that pop up there really shortly after, especially after Anthology, because I get spammed by it.
Rocket. You got the brain! Woo! Now put the brain on this rocket.
Oh yeah, because we all want that wing up there.
Rocket.
I thought about having the wing going up too, but I think that might be too much. And it would instead of causing this, giving this nice outline here around the edge, it would create this like blob of her right here.
Yeah, I think the barrel is the wings aren't as cute. I mean, they can be cute, but adorable. The thing you see here, pick up stuff. That is super cute.
Rocket. Rocket.
That's better.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Is this efficient? I think I could. Yeah, this has already been cleared out. Okay. I think this shot is all done. I can't think of anything I need to add. Is there anything in the background that I need to add?
Did you get the lighting on the eyes?
Yeah, the eyes are all done. I think that the lighting for the doors looks fine.
On this rocket.
And how long of a time is that for showing this? 2 seconds? It's enough time. Okay. I forgot what the amount of time they say to give people to process something is. I think it was about 2 seconds. So
Now put the brain on this rocket.
So, because they'll be looking at her, and then it immediately goes from boom, about a second or two to get it, and then all right. So I think that's all good. Nope, not name. This is actually probably one of the more efficient shots I've done, or videos. I'm only sitting at 600 megabytes of RAM because all of it uses all the same stuff across everything. Used to be that I'd make these things and it would be, or I have another thing I'm working on right now that is sitting at like 2800 when I load it, and I'm a little worried because I need to add more.
Well, if you're planning on the whole rocket shooting through into Twilight's castle, and then it can't go out high,
that's good.
Get pretty big.
But that, because that is a complete change of scene, I could do in a different file too. So it's harder to preview, but I can. It just gets difficult with like chemistry when you're jumping around a lot between different maps to do that. And I can render out 2 maps separate, but that even gets messy. So I prefer to. Oh, get rid of the ears text here too. Doors sound fading. Oh, yeah, I need to do that too. So.
Got a brain! Woo! Now put the on this rocket. You
Oh no,
got a
it's fine.
brain! Woo! Now put the brain on this
I think
rocket.
before the ambient audio wasn't playing. Yeah, so it fades off, but you still get the ambient lab
Are you gonna
noises.
put magic on her horn?
That shot's not done yet.
I don't know what that was.
No, color's already done. Text. Okay. That was all cleaned up. Yeah, this one I haven't done yet, and I think it is.
There's like a light on it.
It's supposed to be.
Put the stick on her head.
Well, yeah, it's right here. The light's there, but the particle's missing. But it's weird because even if it wasn't attached correctly, it would still show right here. Yeah, this should be working. That looks super small.
What? Shrunk down.
Because I mean, that's like we're taking up about half of the squares there.
Mm-hmm. Use a different effect than you used to.
No, it's the same effect. Yeah, and this is taking up only that much. But I think I did purposely make a smaller one.
Yeah, it's bigger.
It's bigger, but it's not showing still. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do.
Whoa. Why is there a big giant orb in the middle of the room? Oh, it's gone.
Oh, I'm stupid. No, because I still needed to work on her. That's why it's gone. I was thinking I had the lock backwards, so I gotta go back and fix this. No, it's just yeah.
Oh, there it is.
I had it backwards. I thought the particle was supposed to be locked, but it's the model that's locked. And when it's locked, it's giving values that are wrong for the horn, so it's just somewhere out there. So I thought this light's going to be tough to play with. I can't have it like 100% locked on. Like that up and down, I can't actually get that direction. Well, you know what? Screw it. I'll just manually move it. That lets me move wherever I want.
Welcome back to it.
It's like pod racing.
I feel bad for Spike, but he's a dragon, so.
So shit happens.
He'll get an order and he'll. That's how G4 will end. Man, just imagine like the end of Old Yeller, but with Spike. That's how they just have to put Spike down. He got rabies. Because I still don't know if people think of him as a character or one of the character's pets. I mean, he still comes across as Twilight's pet to me, honestly.
I'm just saying is always a way of saying I just said something very offensively, and please don't take it.
Well, it's
against
offensive
me.
against imaginary dragons, yes.
I'm just saying it's always one of those phrases that you don't say it unless you said something offensive that you know will be taken offensively, and really shouldn't be saying it. But you know what?
Well, if any dragons are out there who are offended, I will take your phone calls.
All right, his phone number.
I'm gonna get lots of furries calling me now.
Let me get your phone
Hello,
number.
sir. I am a dragon, and I do not care for your attitude towards a dragon. No, it'd be Syria too who called me. It'd be great if you could watch it right now. That'd be fantastic. My brain farted there for a second.
Dragons are people too.
I mean, some people would say the same thing about their dogs, but
Dogs are people too.
yes,
Dog lives matter.
my dogs.
Spike died.
He did. Ha! He's humping that. He's fine. Watch this spike you sold it.
Okay.
I'm just like. Somebody should have made that animation now that I think about it. Just him getting like Twilight. I can't believe it. Just like, nope. Just what you want to do. Like, so, well, now she doesn't need it. Okay, see, now he's definitely just humping the rock. He's a humping dragon.
No, that's this.
Oh no! Spike, no, down! Bad Spike. You're just encouraging this whole Spike as a pet problem. This is a pet who humps things. He's going at it. He's having out-of-body experiences.
I don't even know if the stream's catching that because that's like, you know,
Oh no!
weird frame rate. There's not even no audio anymore.
Get the spray bottle. He's enjoying himself.
I must go. My planet beats me. That would be a good anthology short. Having Spike doing something and Twilight pulls out a spray bottle. It's like, no.
That's right. Him on honorary, just that would be amazing. No,
No, actually, Starlight Glimmer would be better.
Yes.
Doing it. Sadly, no time to do that.
Hey, not until Anthology 8.
No, this is the last anthology.
I've heard that for like the last 3
That's
anthologies.
what every anthology is the last anthology.
Yes.
Remember, Jay said that,
Yes.
and that's the way it's gonna stay.
Now they got like twice as much animation they need for this current anthology, and they're not sure what to do with half of it.
No, they have PS. They anticipated that, so they'll do what they need to. And like I said, they have some that are not put in, and people put in their channel separate.
If they legit do what I think they're going to do for G5, it might actually reinvigorate the thing.
No, it won't.
Don't think so?
It might have a small boost, but it's never going to be what it was before. Because it was cool and new, and if anything, if it comes back again, there's none of that. It's just a continuation.
It's definitely going to be a continuation with an improvement in
No,
quality.
the reason the fandom was so big was because people jumped in because it was the hip thing to do. They didn't care about the whole thing. They just wanted to be a part of it. And then the people that are left are the people that are actually the true fans. Everybody else was just nobodies.
They were following a fad, you're saying.
Yeah. Because you still get the same amount of people in panels. You still get the same amount of you still get the same amount of interaction. You're just getting less fluff.
Hello, person.
Hello, Jurassic. How's it going? Haven't talked to you in a while. I'm abusing Spike.
Yes. He's a bad dragon.
No, we're not doing no bad dragon. Alright, so at this point, Twilight's already going blur. If that's the case, then I don't have to do too much with her. I think she's really done. I don't have to do anything.
This horse is done.
Well, in terms of major animation.
Oh, she just has some pretty serious clipping right there with her hair.
Well, it's Jiggle Bones, so as long as if I flip this around, it'll go away.
Okay.
Jiggle Bones just locked to where they were last. Spike, I don't think has any Jiggle Bones. Nope, he's already locked. She doesn't, but we'll leave that for now. On break from work. Oh yeah.
Hi from Spain.
Hello from America. Yeah, I'm on break right now too. I have 4 days off, and then I have 4 days on, then 3 days off. Because my job is bullshit when it comes to days off.
I haven't worked in nearly a month.
I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
Oh, you're countering at it. Okay, so you have a fun break. Or kind of. Fun as in not paid and struggling.
Yeah, fan.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the compliments. Yeah, dude, Side Twilight's one of my favorite things to animate, so I decided to do more.
She's a cute cone, so every time I hear him just smashing the rock, it feels more good.
I know, I get to listen to it over and over and over again. Ooh, too much.
No, you notice you don't do a lot of song videos, and
That's all I used to do. I did it because then I didn't have to deal with audio. I hate dealing with
you
audio.
never did like lip syncing the songs.
No, because it takes forever.
I figured it's just because the song would drive you insane. It's like the same. few
Luna's
words
Banishment?
over and over again. Huh?
Luna's Banishment?
lip syncing. I mean, kind of.
Making my way down the Milky Way.
Okay, that one. That one.
I didn't do much lip syncing to the audio, but I did a lot of
I
stuff.
do remember you saying you finished that one in like a couple days.
8 hours.
8 hours. That's crazy.
Just 8 or 9 hours, and that doesn't include render time and some of the post stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just about. But that was the point of the video, was to see how fast I could make a video. And so, like, the whole thing of her on the piano is the same thing of Derpy doing her taxes. This is copy paste. No, I didn't use copy paste of it here. I've done half the videos copy paste. The lip syncing was puppeteering, which is a stupid way to do lip syncing, but it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Back in September. That's a long ways though. That's 2 months. Oh, I've already got most of this stuff built as to how these shots are going to do. And hiding things in the background can be distracting. So I usually try to, if I hide things in the background, it's for the purpose of being noticed or to be so slight or to be hidden to where nobody's going to notice unless they're looking.
You do generally hide your OC somewhere.
I try to here and there, but not always. It just, if an opportunity arises and I thought about it, like this one,
Maybe when you're in the castle. Or maybe you could have your Equestria Girls OC.
No, I'm not going to have one of those. Because the game SFM has a limit on how much bullshit it can take before it shuts down.
That's just too much bullshit.
Too much bullshit.
You can't have your Equestria Girls OC. It would just be a woman, but without eyelashes. So even though there's boobs, it's still a man.
It's okay, he's wearing a t-shirt that says not boobs. I'm super cheating this.
Make him look like he's moving a little bit.
All I did was grab the chest and just pulled it down. I'm not gonna bother with it. This is how visible it is at this moment.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna deal with it. Oh yeah, SFM isn't easy. Well, no, I wouldn't say it's not easy. SFM, I think, compared to most 3D softwares, is very easy. It just doesn't do the complicated very, very well because it can't hit some of this, do some stuff other software can, but it gives a easier method to get into 3D animation and stuff. No, it's not complicated compared to, but it is complicated in that there's just a lot of shit to look at and pay attention to.
The nice thing about it is there's so many assets already for it.
That's all I care about with it, really.
Yeah.
Assets and render are previewability. If I tried to preview this in Blender, it look like shit.
Well, the other thing with Blender is stuff on Blender looks good, but because there's not nearly as much assets, the most I've ever seen anybody animate in Blender was one character at a time.
Usually, yeah, it's
Moses.
one character. Forgot the guy's name. The one that did the EKG models. He did Rainbow Rocks with it, but he had to outsource his rendering because it took so long. So he had to find other people to help him render it. So the render times are enormous. You could take the assets from here and port them in, but then you're porting every single model. And I like being able to just go in there and do a general search of what the hell do I want to put in here today, and then I know all the modifications for all the textures and how they work. Well, I don't know how they work in Blender at all.
Source is actually a pretty amazing animation software. I'd like to see what
All right, good night.
would be able to do with the Source 2 they were working on. Source
One day.
2. Maybe. Valve doesn't seem to care anymore.
He made another Half-Life 3 joke not long ago.
Oh, does he just like torturing people now?
Basically about how long it's that kind of thing is taking. Is
Well,
what
they
he was kind of
basically
making fun
said what happened after 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of their whole workflow, the way things work, where nobody works on a project unless they feel passionate about it. So what happened is there was essentially 3 versions of Half-Life 3 that got started and never finished. Because they lost their passion for the work. When they finished it...
And where did that info come from?
From the guy who released the book. What was supposed to be the story for Half-Life 3. After he left the company.
I just see their focus is on a lot of stuff now that nobody cares or the general populace doesn't care about, but is good getting into the VR market and everything. But
they're just happy to keep making money from
yeah.
Steam.
Why people pull your people away? Steam, I'm pretty sure, is a beast to maintain.
I'm sure.
With all the tools and everything they give.
I'm sure they have a lot of developers who love to work on games.
Oh yeah.
Passion projects, which is what the whole thing
Well, what do you
was
have?
trying to create.
Well, they made Dota, and then they made Artifact.
Did they make Dota, or did they like buy
Yeah.
Dota?
No, they bought the rights to the term Dota, even though that means Defense of the Ancients. They couldn't use that title. They didn't have that ownership, but they had Dota's ownership, so they can't say Defense of the Ancients. They only can call it Dota. But no, they bought the rights to it, but then they developed the game themselves. And that game has been very successful. Artifact, not so much, but that's where I think there's no money in Half-Life 3 compared to trying to follow the trends of CSGO made a PUBG type game, what do they call that? Battle Royale type game, and it's been actually very successful. Dota was following in that trend. Just for instance, League of Legends came out, then Valve made Dota, and Blizzard tried to make Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
They were too late to the market, and now they're actually dropping the game essentially because it failed.
Yeah.
So it's if they can keep up with the markets, and I feel like Artifact was them trying to keep up with it and being too late and not having a good strategy for it.
I don't think Valve really even needs to get big on Half-Life 3. I think they just would make it that just because it would be a passion project.
It's money. It's still money.
Well, like Telltale, they weren't able to finish the Walking Dead series because their company went under. But what they did was they handed off the rights and the title to another company so that they could finish it. And they lost money on that deal, but they wanted to see the game finished because they cared about it.
I know, but that's not a good way to maintain a company.
No, they were going under either way.
Yeah, but to have anybody do it for a passion project, that's not how the world works.
I'm just saying, I don't think Valve needs to make money on it.
No, they don't. But they're
sources.
a large enough company that they're going to look at it as, well, how are we going to make money on this?
I mean, how old's that game now? The last one came out in 2009, 10 years ago. That was episode 2. A lot of kids entering that market now weren't even born yet. Oh, but they shouldn't have left that game on the cliff.
There's a lot of stuff out there that's like it. Hell, even like Expanse was originally, or they left that on a cliffhanger, and then never any more from it.
Good night.
No, Apex is the battle royale for EA, or I can't remember who actually made that, but no, that's Apex Legends. If we're talking about before, Blizzard's League of Legends competition was Heroes of the Storm. Blizzard doesn't have a black battle royale.
It's kind of sad because the whole thing that League of Legends was created from, Dota, it started as a mod for Warcraft 3. Like the heroes battling each other.
Mm-hmm. That's what Dota is.
Yeah.
That's why the title is locked, because I believe Blizzard owns it.
Yeah.
Blizzard owns the Dota full name. Valve bought the rights to the Dota name, so when Blizzard went to go make Heroes of the Storm, they couldn't use the Dota name.
Why did they sell it? They were planning on making that game.
I don't know who owned it at the time or who had the right to sell it. I didn't look into that.
Activision, because Activision owned Blizzard.
Respawn, that was it.
Which is the weirdest thing, and I'll never completely understand it. Blizzard sold their company to Activision, and then down the line, Blizzard bought itself back from Activision.
Because it wasn't going well.
How does that even work? How does a company, after it sells itself, buy itself back?
Because when it's sold, where does the money go?
I would think to Activision.
No, if Activision buys Blizzard, who gets the money at Blizzard?
I guess the
owner.
The owner, but
Yeah.
he moves on.
So he moves on. Then somebody else can come in and buy it, or the people there can put money in on to buy it. Or it could have been that they just said your certain amount of profits over this amount of time are going to be to us, but we're relinquishing creative control to you. I don't know what the titles are or the contract is. I'm not a legal expert, but I'm guessing that they found a way because it felt that the company under Activision was just not going to succeed like they would be on their own.
Yeah. I just never heard of any other game company doing that. I think that's crazy.
No, you have to have it first. Well, Bungie, I thought, did the same thing.
Because they sold to Microsoft? Did they buy them?
Well, yeah, actually, in a way. They sold themselves, or Bungie was bought by Microsoft. Then when Halo or Bungie split off and bought themselves back, and they split off a portion of their team, which was 343 Industries, which stayed with Microsoft to make Halo. And then the rest of them went on to make Destiny. So it's not the first time. But then Bungie ended up being under the Activision thing, and I think we're under the same boat. Is Destiny 2 on Steam yet? Now I'm curious. I thought it was.
Isn't that the game we played on?
Yeah. No, it wasn't on Steam. It is.
No.
But I own it, on the other thing. Supposedly you can bring over your save files. So or your character. I have to check to see if there's a way to...
You can bring over your code and have it installed on Steam.
Okay, that's what I'm curious about. Because I would like to have it on Steam if I can.
Yeah,
because I heard that when we were playing it, it was a little rough on the edges, but the game's gotten really good since then. So
yeah, I did that I bought a game on Origin, and then I saw it was up on Steam, so I just said, "Hey, Origin, tell me what my key is," and I took that key to Steam, and it installed the game on Steam. So if you buy it on one platform, it appears on another platform, you own it on that platform too.
But you can't use the same key.
Yeah, I did.
It depends on the key's format. If they use a similar format, then they might have conflict. So if it's different enough format, then they might not have an issue.
Essentially, worth a lot of two digital copies of the game, so I can go on the platform. I just use the same key.
Yeah, that's what I thinking you could, but it's just got to get the key thing figured out. But yeah, I thought the game was good.
Yeah, it was entertaining for a little while. I don't know that it had long-term results.
That's why they've added a lot of stuff since then.
Yeah.
For a game of that type, it's one that you might not find, or you might lose value in it over time, but then they add a lot of content and you can go back to it.
Did beat the game in about a week, though.
Yeah, but I still had fun with it. And for me, it was free.
Yeah, well, that always makes it better.
Well, kind of was free. I bought a graphics card and it came with it, so I had the money from the graphics card. I thought that was just announced not long ago.
Because that was my biggest problem. It didn't have a lot of fleshed out characters and the world was boring. It had robots. I was like, beep, beep, go do this.
There were some people that were making it work, though. They were all playing parts and doing role playing and stuff, and made it be what was intended to be. But without private servers, that makes it really hard.
Yeah.
So they wanted people to do one thing, but didn't give them the correct tools to make it happen.
One of the things that extended the playability of games like Fallout 4 and Skyrim was modability too. So again,
but that game can't have modability.
Private servers.
Yeah, well, and again, it comes down to private servers usually allows modification, and modification means that you could potentially modify a file that would make your character have an advantage over another character and move back to a public setting.
You gotta be in control of the private server.
But no, but what if that character was loaded in from a different save? Or you're going to have unique saves to that server. That's what people are probably going to fight on. So they're going to want, I have this character, this is the one I built up. I don't want to make a new character over there.
Of course, it could be like any server for a lot of the Steam games that do require mods. The HAL games in particular, where you can't join the server unless you have these mods, and then only when you get into the server.
Yeah, that's a lot of infrastructure to build that I don't think they have.
I've seen a lot of games do that. Like
Yeah.
War.
But if the game's not already built to do it, that's a lot of time for them to put into it. And they fixed it, and I've heard that it's everything in there is doing pretty good. I've been meaning to go back to get it. I've been keeping it up to date.
Yeah.
Just haven't done it. There's been other stuff I've been playing, and I thought I finished Slay the Spire, and then I figured out that I kind of didn't.
I don't know if Kyle still wants to do Minecraft or not. Just talking about it. I wouldn't mind Minecraft.
I don't know if I want to get back into that myself.
I mean, we still got to finish Dwarf and Friends too.
Yeah, I'd rather try to finish some of the stuff we have started. And Minecraft is one of those that the amount of time people put into it drastically changes, and we've had a lot of people where one person, the day that you started, it's great, but then you come back the next day and that person was playing so much that they're so far ahead that then you're just completely playing separate games.
It would have to be a server that would only be up like
Yeah, like me and Dwarf and Friends, where we can only play it once a week because that's when everybody's on.
Yeah.
So then not much of a multiplayer game. So it makes it hard, something like that. I want to work on my house. Well, we can't because this blah blah blah's not on. That makes things difficult.
I thought you were getting on me, like, we can't play because Mike's working on his house. I'm just like, oh, it didn't happen.
But no, no, not that house. I'm saying in
That
Minecraft.
house, yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Those games are great, but you have to have a version like Vermintide is great because the amount of you can have somebody jump in and still be playing with the people that have been there for a while, and everybody gets a benefit. So that's why I like that game. But otherwise,
you can do something with Minecraft. You just have to make sure everybody's on.
But that's the thing is it's super hard to do that.
Yeah. I think you could do it with like 4 people maybe, who are around at the same time. Same thing we've been doing with Vermintide. Not Vermintide. Dwarf and Friends. I can't even remember the actual name of it.
That's not the real name.
Is now. Somebody's hosting you.
Candy Twix is hosting again. Hello, Candy Twix.
How to abuse your purple dragon. Step
And Blurted Blah is hosting too. Holy crap. I'm gonna be so famous.
Found the button. Just imagine, like, Twilight, please, can we please stop? It's like, my tail's not right yet, Spike.
Oh yeah, I guess you can hear it.
I just hear it smashing into the rocket as you adjust your tail. Twilight, it's fine, it looks fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's oh nope.
Nope. Go smash Spike if you want.
Okay, can't see the bad sides. That's good. Oh, well, a little bit. can see a little, so I do need to do it. Oh, okay. Now I think we're all done with there. Because I don't think I need to do anything more in Spike. He's already being beat up. So I'm going to consider Spike good. I think lighting-wise, I've already went through all that, so we're good.
Another green.
Yep.
So can we find green?
There, now her horn will be lit.
Yay.
Oh, actually...
You want to make it a little bigger?
No, this one? Nope. There's a certain value I have to add to it to make sure that it follows the movement. It's not. I thought it was lerp to hitbox, but apparently not. Unless I have it off. No, I don't. I just can't remember. Every time I forget.
Oh.
I can't remember what it was. I thought last time I found it really quick.
How far have you gotten in Divinity? That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, Divinity Original Sin 2. Me and Kyle are right at the end of the game, and then it's me, Kyle, Michael, and John are doing a 4-player playthrough, where we're on the second island right now.
It's quite interesting. We summoned the genie and then murdered it. I don't.
There's a lot of things in that game that happen. The nice thing is there's a lot of different things happening that from when we were playing, so we're still seeing some differences. But I went from playing the class that I like playing, which is like a rogue assassin, and I went to a mage, and
It sets everything on fire.
yeah, so I went full nuke mage just to make up for the difference, and it is fun if I'm not hit.
My job is to get hit and then heal everybody else's hits.
Oh, I was gonna say Fort Bracklin book. It's Fort Joy. So yeah, that's if you're just talking Fort Joy, then you're like 10 minutes into the game. It's the first city of the game.
My favorite thing is I know in their playthrough they murdered this spider lady, and in ours John made out with the spider lady.
No, we did it, but then we fought it and killed it too.
Oh, you made out with the spider lady and then murdered her?
Yeah, I think so.
That's messed up.
Because we got angry about it. But yeah, no, but again, he's just at the Fort Joy, so don't spoil things.
Oh, fair.
No, it's a good game. Me and Kyle have like 100 hours into it just to get the main story through, but we took our time and did everything. It was really good. There is actually can you get all of the companions? What do you mean?
4.
You can only have 4 at a time, but you can swap between them. I think there's 6 total.
I wanted to murder the Red Prince.
But no, I didn't play Red Prince. I played the Elf last time. But no, you should always be able to. You can always have them all with you. It's just you can only have 4 used at a time. Though I've tried doing a solo run where I was only playing with 2 people because you can use the Lone Wolf perk. Okay, I need to stop doing that there. Okay, and I don't... Oh, she does have an eye light, but that's fine.
I've been making interesting friends in this game.
I think that's about the best I'm gonna
Kyle
do.
is concerned about the friends I'm making.
Well, yeah, the first thing you did in that game was murder children.
I mean, they were stealing our boat.
And yeah, but then like we'll find some actual like super evil person. And you're like, I don't know, he doesn't seem too bad. We should let him live.
I mean, I think my newest friend, the green guy, yeah, I think he's gonna turn out okay. Sure, he might eat people, but doesn't everybody eat people?
You eat people.
I know, it's not such a bad...
When I played Elf, it made sense because I got things out of it, but you're just a dwarf.
I have at least 10 limbs in my inventory.
You should be able to find them right at the beginning. Red Prince is on the beach. Elf is up in the poisoned area. Yeah, so there is a area through some vines. I want to say to the north, but it's when you're coming into the camp or towards the camp and you go way to the left up on the hill, there's some area to walk through some brush, and I believe the elf is... No, that's where Skeleton is. Where was Elf? I don't really know. Oh no, Elf is on the beach. Elf is on the beach looking over a lizard that's sleeping because she wants to go murder him. Yeah, go towards the water from Fort Joy. You'll find the elf hiding behind a tree there. There's also Losa. Every time we've played... No, only this time we had somebody playing as Losa. Where was she? Ivan is right inside the front doors. Just below the shrine with a bunch of gold stuff right up at the bottom of the stairs. There's a bunch of people having a conversation. Ivan is in the middle of that conversation. I can't remember where Losa is.
You remember this time there was a head in the box, and apparently it was an important head.
I can't remember.
And I ate the head, and I was like, why did you eat that head? Like, it was an option.
Because, why did you eat the head? Well, I had a mouth and I had a head.
Exactly. And there was the option to eat it, so I ate the head. Because I thought something magical might happen. Turns out, all that happened is I ate a head. I carry limbs on me just in case, you know.
In case you have a hunger.
In case somebody has a hunger. I don't know what
Well,
kind of friends we're going to come across.
When you play Elf, when you eat a limb, it'll pop up with a memory of that person. Sometimes it's like 5 words or super short. But other time it's a big, long memory, and then you actually get a memorized skill out of it. And you learn it permanently. So you still have to have the memory to put it on. So I had some weird mix of skills.
I mean, maybe I have that ability too.
No.
I might.
No, you're not tall enough.
I gotta eat more limbs to find out, be sure. Just to be sure.
I'm locking my door at night. Ivan.
Just come in here if I'm eating your foot. What are you doing? I'm learning.
I played as Ivan my second time. So with them, I'm playing as him, but I reclassed him to a mage, though, which is kind of weird because his special skill with the wolf kind of makes more sense. Well, it kind of makes more sense as a summoner class, but he's been working out well for it. Some of his side stuff, I could have bet other classes would have been a better selection for what I was doing, but we had already played through with dwarf, elf, or so beast. What is the elf's name? I played as her. Whatever. Yeah, he's a cannibal dwarf. No, that's fine. We ignore him. We played with Red Prince, Dwarf, Elf, and Losa. Losa's story is the absolute best in the game, so if you are able to have anybody's story to follow, her chapters 1 and 2 are good, but her chapter 3, or the part of her story towards the end, is absolutely amazing, and I highly recommend you bring her with you just so you can follow her story, because it is the best in the game. The dwarfs is so-so. It's fairly standard. The elves is interesting, but only if you're really playing as the character. Red Princes, I think, is very interesting too. It's very involved in a lot of big side story stuff that some people don't have. Losa is another one that has the big side stories. Ifen, we don't know, and Thane, we don't know, because those two are the ones that we didn't have in our main group before. So I don't know their backstories or their stories or whatever. The first half of the game, you don't really focus much on the individual stories, but the last half, they really start pounding it out. So yeah, I can't help on those, but if you can, Red Prince is, I would say, good story, but definitely bring Losa. Absolutely great story.
She's scary.
She is, but seeing how empowered of a person she is growing towards the end, where you have a demon in your head that you can't control, and some of the visual imagery they do with it actually left me and Kyle silent for like 10 seconds because we both went, what? No, because we both were we were literally mind fucked. Yeah. Like the game actually made us stop and think and going, whoa, and we both were silent. Both of us were thinking the same things. We're just sitting there staring at a screen for like 10 seconds. And then we went, okay, what were we doing? Like, so, no, it's Losa's, if you could definitely do Losa's story, for sure.
In my defense, though,
now fire the rocket!
Pretty sure most of the people I hate were human. I'm a dwarf, not a
now
cat.
Fire the rocket!
My
Hypothesis. Now.
Yeah, it's not their fault that they were tasty.
Yeah. A little bit of salt and pepper.
Now. Now fire! Now fire! Now fire! Now fire!
No, the one nice thing with Divinity as well is being that you can change anybody's class to anything you want to make them fit their class. Because, like, I think Losa we changed to be a different type of mage when we did our playthrough, but it doesn't really affect anything. Playing as Elf is a little difficult if you go some weird classes because some of her special or her race ability gives her extra energy and extra physical attack strength at the cost of health. So, because she just literally stabs herself in the arm.
Pretty sure Dwarf is supposed to be a rogue.
No.
No.
Dwarf, I think, is supposed to be a shieldish. I can't remember. Whatever he starts with his class.
Yeah, he starts with, like, Scoundrel.
He might have started with some Scoundrel, but he's not.
He's supposed to be a pirate.
So he probably has some Scoundrel, but it's probably like Scoundrel and Bartering as his main ones, but his actual class is going to be Melee. The full Scoundrel is, like, when you're walking around, you see a backstab, like, arc behind people to go and try to stand in.
That's
And
what I thought he's primarily supposed to be.
no.
I've been playing him as a paladin.
You've been playing him as Melee, which I think is... I don't think that's what he's supposed to be, but it's similar.
It's been working for me. I don't know.
If it works, it works.
I mean, my primary goal is just to keep everybody else alive and do crowd control.
Yeah, I wish I could help you as to where Losa is, but I did not remember. She's the only one I legitimately cannot remember. But they're all just wandering around in Fort Joy. I don't know why I can't remember where she's standing. Only two of them are outside the city. 2 of them are inside the city. I mean, if you're playing as Ifen, then you don't need to worry about him. But I don't remember at all. That bugs me. Only when I can't remember. Because I played the beginning Fort Joy like 7 times.
Now.
They're all, I wouldn't say easy to find, but they're all not that far. So you can find them pretty quick.
Now fire! Now fire the rocket! Fire the rocket! Now fire the rocket! Fire the rocket!
You want another drink? You have another one off.
Oh look, I'm out. Oh look, I'm out.
Here, I'll take a can. Give me your cans.
Got a nice steady grip there, Mike. No, if people are interested, we haven't. I've been meaning to stream Divinity. Reason we never really did is because it's so sporadic as to when we play. That we're just kind of like, we want to do dwarfs, sure, and we call it Dwarf and Friends because Mike is self-important. Yes. And says that the dwarf is super important. So he said it wasn't a game of 4 people playing. It was Dwarf and Friends. And then we were playing Vermintide. Barden in there, which is the dwarf, ended up saying that he'll sing songs about Barden and his merry group of minions or friends. And so it's like he literally just said Dwarf and Friends. So it's a thing. So we call it Dwarf and Friends.
I have the reason we call it Dwarf and Friends is because I'm a dwarf. Clearly the leader. I am traveling with a dead person, so he lost before the game even began. A woman who's also schizophrenic, and a pyromaniac who doesn't know how to stop setting things on fire. So I am the de facto leader. Well,
it's the one thing that I don't like about you acting like that is because in our previous game, Kyle's main was the dwarf, so the dwarf was the one doing everything. So to me, it's just a copy paste of before.
Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah, so it just feels like more of the same.
Oh.
I don't see what I'm looking forward to. One of the reasons that one of the reasons I like Vermintide is the fact that it's just a non-stress co-op game that I can jump into and play with. So I don't know how much I'd like the cooperative or the competitive element to it, but I'm not gonna go against it either because it looks really cool that you can play as their different rats and stuff. So I'll have to see, but I am looking forward to Winds of Magic, but I was in the beta, and there's a couple things that worry me about Winds of Magic. So it's supposed to be that you can go into these like instance elements that are the same maps but with different things going on, but without a generic story to follow. There is half as much audio being spoken, so it's quieter. You cannot take AI with you, meaning that you have to have players. Therefore, it's requiring a full team finding or quick plays or something. And all of your equipment is kept separate, so it's a full different equipment set, which is a very neat and complicated system they set up. We'll complain on that. That's really cool. But at the same time, it feels like a separate bit from the regular game. So some of the concerns I had were already voiced, and I've seen that they're working on it, so I hope that they work on some of it. I understand that there's no AI because some of the things in there could be broken if you were letting the AI try to take control of it. But still, it just seems so... It seems quiet and lonely for a game that shouldn't be. So... yeah, I'll have to see. I'm still excited for it to come out because of the higher difficulty. We're in Legendary now, or playing it, and we're doing well. So I'm interested to see how the higher difficulty goes, and just more content's always good. Yeah, we still play that. I thought you had food for some reason. I'm really looking forward to having more content to do in there. I just recently got my Shades 100 champion helmet. And working towards the legendary chest or coloration for the rest of them.
You know, when you guys were working, I did attack some more kids in that game.
Attack kids?
Yeah, hypothesis. And it was pretty funny. You know that one elf sitting just outside the tavern?
Mm-hmm.
He's just kind of up there.
Hypothesis.
He's like trying to find the killers of the ministry. I killed some kids near him, attacked some kids. And all I got before was him saying, "Hey, don't do that." The kids disappeared, and they never attacked.
Hypothesis. Hypothesis.
The dwarf is a psychopath.
This looks like a white woman that's about to ask for the manager.
She's just disgusted.
Oh, there. That's when he showed.
She's asking for the manager.
And that's when they show up.
That's when the drugs kick in.
Or middle-aged white woman, sorry.
This will be frickin' sick!
It's clicking. Yeah.
She bites.
Sick!
One.
Food processor. Stick some in there.
It's like sounds like a bird that's needing food from its mother. This is what the girlfriend sounds like when you come home from work. Okay, I'm actually speeding up constantly. It's just looped just perfect to where it looks like it's not.
She's running out. Car won't start.
Yeah.
Battery's dead. Oh, jump start.
I can't actually slow her down. It's too short of a time. It's a gack. Yeah, she's doing gack. All I need to do right now is just set up the basic tail motion. Oh yeah, the Versus Moto thing is coming out sometime this year. Sorry, just saw that. Winds of Magic comes out next month, I think.
I'll fire the rocket!
Which actually they have a sign up for the beta round 2, I think. So if you're interested in the beta, you can sign up. I got accepted for last time, so
Now,
and other people I know that didn't. So it is just
I'll
random.
fire the rocket! Now, fire the rocket!
Did but John from Titus ever play with us?
John?
Yeah.
We play with him all the time. He's one of the people we play Legendary with.
Alright.
He's been playing. When we first got the game, it was John, Kyle, me, Mitch, and Surya. And then Surya stopped playing, so, or hasn't really played for a while. So, but all the rest of us have been playing pretty consistent.
I'm enjoying it. I almost have one character who can start doing it.
Well, you do right now. Well, Legendary isn't as much about gear. Legendary is about knowing everything, working together, and what they call that, muscle memory. So it's just about something's going to hit you from behind and immediately doing 180 block.
Why didn't Legendary yet?
No. I thought Legendary was going to be more chaotic. It's just think of what we've done, but where you take a lot more damage and there's more things. So It's probably like one hit from a guy did half my health.
Do you generally just skip on Grims and stuff on like?
Yeah, we don't. Right now, we're trying to get completion for the outfits, and which is one of each completed. If you can complete champion with all the Grims, so you're like 1/3 health, or no, about 1/3. If you have all the health reduction and you're able to do that on champion, you can do legendary.
Oh, we've done that.
Yeah, but legendary without the Grims.
Yeah. I don't know what legendary with the Grims would be.
Just harder.
Sounds unnecessary.
No, so we originally thought that champion was hard.
Yeah.
And now we're not. Now we just kind of walk right through it. So, but it's because of the muscle memory thing.
I think it helps having a group of friends playing with because we try to play with random friends.
Well, that was champion too, but that's where it's having everybody play a role. So like you were going, oh, look at all the kills. Like no, when we were playing serious, it was nothing about numbers. It was about your job is this, your job is this, and if Dwarf is doing flamethrower and taking out a group, it's not about he doesn't have to look behind him. If he hears something going to hit him, he doesn't have to worry about it because somebody is taking care of it. So it's about playing to your role. So my role when I was doing it was to protect the dwarf and take out big things. So if anything was coming up behind him, stragglers, I was great at that. But the groups, I couldn't do shit against them, so I let the dwarf handle it. So it's about, if a group of things came at me, I would run them to the group because I'm not going to take them out.
My job is just to scream a lot.
Yeah, Marcus's, at least the class you're playing, is to scream a lot and provide attack support. Dwarf, at least when playing flamethrower, is always going to focus on the groups, but he can't do shit to anything else. So everybody else has to handle it for him.
I noticed I'm not very good against the melees. The specials melee.
It depends.
Now,
But it depends on the special. As a with the elf on with the bow against the greenies, the plague monks, I can't handle them. They're gonna hit me. I can't really stop
I
it.
can get a good swing on them.
But other people can. So because like the single shot with the gun and stuff, other people have the ability to take them out better. So it's not about chasing down the things you're not supposed to kill. It's about going, I can mess him up. I'm gonna take him out. You take out the other one.
That's the nice thing about the talent parties. I think
Yeah, and that's why I normally play the low ammo gun with Carillion on backstab, because if I need to pull out my bow, it's not to kill a group, it's to kill an individual. Alright, see you later.
Now fire the rocket! Hypothesis. Now fire the rocket! Hypothesis. Hypothesis. Fire the rocket! Hypothesis. Rocket! Hypothesis. Hypothesis. Hypothesis.
Vermintide is another one that I wanted to originally stream, but I don't think we've ever done it. Because Vermintide has the stream bit where people that are watching the stream can vote during the stream. Help or hinder. So it can say, do you want to give them a healing kit? Or do you want to summon a Chaos Beast?
They're always going to summon the Chaos Beast because it's the internet.
It depends. But you can set the delay time, how often you want them to have those choices.
Yeah.
So it depends.
Never. Yeah.
But it could be like a Chaos Knight instead, so it can be smaller. But it is neat because you can play because the audience interacts. That's what I think streaming severely lacks, is the interactivity.
Only 2 people are alive with a little bit of help. Yes, internet, please send us healing kits and monsters.
Well, and that can actually be the case, but you might be on a stream where it's you're doing something really hard and everybody's there to support you. So they would say, yes, we'll help you. It's about winning the vote. So if you have 4 people watching and you have 3 that vote yes, it doesn't matter if you got one fucker.
Gotta get a PR guy while we're playing Vermintide.
Hypothesis.
So no, I've considered it, but have never,
Hypothesis.
because normally if I want to stream it'd be under the harder stuff, and that kind of worries me. The potentially having people that would come and mess you up. So you're doing well and you would have done well, and then one moment screws you over.
I mean, you'd have to do it just for the sake of having fun. You know, people who screw
Yeah.
Hypothesis. Hypothesis.
I don't know anybody in our group who gets like really angry
Hypothesis.
about what's in a game.
I think the only time we ever get angry is if there's too many bullshits in a row. Because I mean, it's all random chance. So if you're going to have those games where just everything went wrong, the perfect storm. But sometimes you get some of those perfect storms multiple in a row.
And we had that double hook grab incident yesterday.
Yeah.
Hypothesis.
That one guy just...
Yeah, there's stuff like that, and that you have enough of those, and you'll get a little frustrated. Especially when you're I used to have friends playing LOL, so League of Legends, that you chase wins. So early on, you're pretty good at a game, so you do very, very well, and you win, and then you start raising up in the rankings. Overwatch can be the same way, until you get to a point where you're playing against people of your similar skill level. But you spend so much time learning the game by dominating people that you didn't learn the things you should have learned and didn't take the time to do it. So by the time you get up to your skill level, you have bad habits that you're doing and end up you're going to do some drastic changes in wins and losses. So you start chasing the wins of you may lose 4 out of 5 games, but that one win makes you keep doing the 4 losses even if they piss you off. And it's just, every time I heard them play, I installed the game and was going to play it that day, start playing with them finally, and I came on to Ventrilo and they were all screaming pissed. And I immediately uninstalled it. Never told them I installed it.
I played that game very little for a short while because my brother-in-law played it.
Hypothesis.
I think that game has kind of an infamous status for having a very, very toxic player base.
Yeah. Well, I can see if people, like, not just for how my friends were acting at the time. And that's fine if they want to act like that, but I don't have to play with them.
Yeah. I think that game is just the perfect storm of rage-inducing for me. I don't know exactly what it's about that game, but I just want to keep it at a distance.
Well, it's when you have a win or loss game, 50-50 chance, at least on an even game, of winning and losing on a game that lasts quite a while.
Yeah.
I can understand that. When you have games like Overwatch that you can win or lose, but sometimes those close games that you lose are better than the win games that you dominate.
Yeah.
And you always get a benefit. You just get a bigger benefit for winning.
I think the issue with League of Legends is that
Dead Cells has an interaction? What is their interaction? I played the crap out of that game. Dead Cells is great.
I think the issue with League of Legends is that when you start losing, you know you're gonna lose, but it's not gonna happen for another
the Monopoly syndrome.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like about Monopoly. The same way, you feel once you know you've lost, you've lost.
Yeah,
There's
but
no
you still
coming
got
back.
a half hour before it actually happens.
Yeah, no. If that's the case, and again, haven't really played it. Then yeah, I can understand that.
And if you quit the game early, they penalize you and won't let you play for a little while. So you're pretty much stuck to finish out a game. You know you're gonna lose.
Yeah, so then you're already frustrated.
It's kind of this perfect storm of rage-inducing. I just rather avoid it.
I'll be frickin' sick!
I actually enjoy Monopoly.
To me, it's not a good game. And the whole point of the game is to show the bad sides to to capitalism. And it ended up being trying to promote it. But no, to me, that and the game of life.
Risk is the worst, I think.
Well, but Risk is at least strategy based. But there's where the games where once you've lost control, you can never gain it back. Monopoly's the one way. But like life, what choice is there in the game of life? There's one.
All at the very beginning.
Yes. Do I go to college? That is the only choice in the entire game. Everything else is random chance.
Just like for life.
Yeah, essentially. But that's why I don't like it. Is I want a game where I have control. That's why Scythe is great. Terraforming Mars is great. The games that have no like Catan, I'm okay with because a lot of it is strategy, but you're still relying on dice rolls. But the dice rolls depend on the choices you've made. So you're playing off chance and probability. Well, on other ones, you're literally just the dice roll
I mean,
What'd you get?
Even terraforming Earth, Mars is just a chance to cards.
1 second. So with Dead Cells, a Twitch chatter can be a chicken that can help you, and they're a boss can tell a boss to use special attacks. Oh, interesting. There's also choose next area type of thing. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Yeah, because I played that a lot. I really wish Slay the Spire had one, because that game is I played that for I think 4 hours today, and I played it 4 hours yesterday. The game is addicting. So, it's so fun though. I like card games, but I don't like multiplayer competitive games and like Hearthstone. So it's nice having that's a version where it's like saying roguelike RPG mixed with cards. And I beat the game legitimately. It's hard, but I beat the game, and now Then I learned about the Ascension level system, and I was like, oh, wait, nope, there's still content I can do. Yes! So, I'm playing through with that now.
I was nitpicking at some of the stuff in Skyrim, seeing what's left to do in that game.
There is a free DLC. Or not a DLC, it's a free mod that was a complete overhaul of the game.
Like graphically, or?
Story, graphically, and engine, everything.
I'll take a look at it.
Enderal, Forgotten Stories. It's not a mod. It's an actual store page. But if you're looking to play,
it's just an add-on to Skyrim.
It's a total conversion mod for Skyrim. It's had its own world with its own landscape, lore, and story. Okay. Full voice acting and everything.
That's interesting.
Overwhelmingly positive. 97% positive.
I'd like to take my character from Skyrim.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But it's free. And it's an actual store page, not just a mod. So I actually installed it because maybe I don't. Oh, it's in my library, yeah.
This mod requires Skyrim. I'll just check it out.
But yeah, I downloaded it because if you watch the trailers and stuff, it actually looks... No audio. No. That's a different language. But no, it's actually really good. It looks really good, and it's rated really well. So I highly recommend it, even though I've never played it.
It's clear they put a lot of work into it.
No, I don't think Dead Cells is a Rage 2 game. Dead Cells to me is
more of a party game.
Dead Cells?
Isn't it where you just enter different cells and then they try to kill you?
No. Dead Cells is because you're an undead person that every time you play through, you come back using Dead Cells.
Okay.
No, it's a Castlevania type game. No, the nice thing about it is if you die, there's really not much negative to it. When you're first starting out, you're still trying to get through it, so it's fine. There's a kind of a middle ground where you're working on upgrades, where you're getting to a certain point, but if you die, you're not taking much back with you. But as you get upgrades, it allows you to take certain amounts of things back with you at the start, and to give you a better starting position. So then that makes it easier. But the difficult rage-inducing part of that game is that once you beat the game, the game is enhanced by giving you a boss cell, and the boss cell lets you play through again. You activate the boss cell, enemies do more damage, more advanced enemies, and everything throughout the game. It unlocks certain new doors throughout that have a thing on the door with how many boss cells are activated, so it's a harder version of the game. Then you have to play through again, and you can still keep upgrading things with the amount of money and cells that you gain. And then when you beat the game again, you get 2 boss cells. Then you can activate both, play on a harder version, and now there's doors that had 2 cells activated that'll let you open to get more stuff. So I don't know how many versions there are, but I think I've heard of like people getting up to 5 cells. But that's where it can be rage-inducing, because there's a lot of things that just kill you in one shot. But just to beat the game the first time, it took me like 15 hours to beat it the first time. Just taking my time and having fun, and I definitely enjoyed it. For the price of the game, it's super good.
This will be frickin' sick!
Another one that's really good if you're looking for indie titles is Into the Breach. I haven't played it as much as I wish I would have, but it's kind of like a what do they call that? XCOM type game, but where you know what enemies are going to do before they do it, and you're trying to strategize how to move things to get done what you need to prevent damage and whatever. So that one's really, really good. Really, really simple. You can jump right into it and figure it out. And that Dead Cells and the Slay the Spire all feel similar to me. And I got them on Switch, so I can just go around with them.
I could never take a pun seriously if it got angry with me. So go use some cube. It's like, I'm trying to tell you.
She's super pissed, and she's like, "Stop pooping me!" But you looked like you wanted it.
Oh no, that's the context there is just awful.
No is no, Mike.
No, you mean nose? That is your nose. I didn't show it to you. Ooh. Yes.
Frickin' sick! Frickin' sick! And sick! And sick! And sick! And sick!
A Hollow Knight I've been considering getting to.
Sick!
It's one of those that's on my list of things if I'm bored and willing to buy something.
And sick! And sick! This will be...
Okay, I think
Now
most of the tail is figured out.
Fire the rockets!
Nope. I can see the bottom of the tail here, so...
The rockets! This it. Hypothesis. This will be. This will. This will be frickin' sick. This will be frickin' sick. This will be frickin' sick. This will be frickin'. Be frickin' sick. Be frickin' sick.
Okay. That's enough for me to get it baked.
Well, there is one little thing. When she goes to raise her hoof up, to bring it down on the button, if her tongue can stick out just a little bit, that would be super cool.
Like I said, I can make it creepy.
Oh, you don't want to make it creepy. It's her concentrating. Like, she's got her concentration face on it. But the tongue, so it's adorable. I'm here to evaluate it all. I didn't know. Not there. And now it's just weird. No. This isn't what I wanted. Gross. What have you done? She's auditioning for Kiss. Oh. Tyler, put that back. It's too big. No. Her tongue is
Now,
too big. It's supposed to be a little tongue.
Hypothesis. This will be frickin' sick.
I imagine she has quite the lisp.
Actually, my mouth itself was trying to just imitate a lisp.
Hypothesis. This will be frickin' sick.
Thinking right there, she just have.
No, because then her mouth would have to be open, but it's right now compressed.
I only think of cuteness factor. Like,
Now, fire the rocket. Hypothesis. This will be.
Okay. Yeah, that's usually my first pass here. For one, this is using the advanced model. I do not want jiggle bone cheeks. I do not want jiggle bone butt. Okay.
Now, fire the rocket. Hypothesis.
Let's try to escape. I will not be contained. Your cheeks just keep flying out.
Now fire the rocket!
Oh.
Now fire the rocket! Hypothesis?
No,
This will be frickin' sick!
Remember the movie Aliens?
So that is. I like through the go. It's just like they're trying to escape.
Now fire the rocket! Hypothesis?
Well, pony butts are supposed to jiggle.
White has a jiggle bug. Probably for two reasons. One, having ability to, maybe not for the jiggle portion, but to have a bone that I can select does come in handy when people are sitting. Rainbow Dash, when she was sitting in her chair doing the little wobble thing, it did come in handy to be able to modify how the butt was sitting. And number two, because there's NSFW versions, and obviously you need some jiggle butts then.
Obviously.
Jiggle butts. Yes.
Now fire the rocket!
So I don't mind having the ability for it just because it is handy having those jiggle bones. It's the same thing like the cheeks. I normally don't have any reason to utilize the cheekbones. I almost never do. But having the option is nice. I like having the options. It doesn't mean I have to use them.
It is funny though. I remember watching a lot of videos where you hadn't locked the butt down yet, and we're just redoing it in the butt. That's just jiggling crazy.
It's one thing to have it as a jiggle bone. It's another one to just make it JELLO. That's a little bit disturbing because like takes one step and the whole butt goes blub, 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 blub. I'm like, no.
Like Twilight's butt's going crazy.
Butts have muscle and tissue. They're not water balloons.
Bunny's butts are marshmallows.
Marshmallows don't do that unless you're melting. Pony butts are not melting marshmallows.
Oh no. It's too hot outside.
Ooh, she got a hot butt. Ooh, look at that toasty. It's turning brown.
Oh no.
You better rein that in. Look at that. She's doing it. She's showing that strutting her stuff.
Why? Those are some toasty buttons. Oh.
There's. Oh, she can't. She has her legs locked. No, her legs are locked. So it's...
Her butt has taken control. It's leaving.
Now fire the rocket! Hypothesis? This will be frickin' sick!
Just start floating.
Hypothesis?
I want to undo the lock just in case it did anything else.
Just have to release the video with the button.
Now fire the rocket! Hypothesis?
Okay, yeah, so fixing her hair. So any of the hair... Okay, hair 1. Oh, actually, all of her hair actually works this time.
Frickin' sick!
Oh, wait, no, it doesn't. Actually, I bet you none of this is the hair I actually want.
Hypothesis?
Yeah. No, this is actually the other hair.
Hypothesis?
Yep. Tail might be. Okay, so this is the correct tail.
This will be frickin' sick!
I'll just leave that because it's fine. And that's fine. Alright, so I'm done with this model. I need to go to coat and hair. Okay, head ball.
Now fire the rocket!
Okay, that voice wobbles way too much.
Ponies are jello.
Some of these, like, you can set the jiggle bones to be fairly responsive in the areas that you need it to, but it just takes time to get the numbers right, and that takes encoding the model and everything. So I understand it, but it's like a little more time and you can get these down pretty good. But also, this is an older version of the model. There's already the issue of this hair right here doesn't have any jiggle bones.
The fact that this is an older version of the model and that we just actually only recently saw this character as a horse, and that it was pretty dead on.
Well, no, because this was a was not the actual like EQG horse.
Yeah, I know, but it's pretty much, it looks exactly the same. That's what I'm getting at.
It's purple horse in a slab outfit. I mean, or it's
Well, the mane is different.
but the other version or the new version of the model does not look anything the same. Oh, that's the EQG one.
I think it just be like something fine.
Yeah, but I have to get to the group. That's my cheat. Wasn't that long ago. Oh, longish. There. Well, that is her, but it's might link to it. No, that's a different one. It's Dazian that does it though.
Okay, well the outfit's different, but the hair is crazy.
Hair's different. Hair's completely different. Science like stuff jammed in there.
Well, yeah, that's something that they just did.
To me, it is accurate for science. Oh, actually,
Yeah, there's.
okay. So this is a cleaner version of Scientific Twilight.
Yeah, mane's the same. Yeah,
No, that's a different main. This is curly.
Okay.
But the curl, a lot of this works good for pictures. But if you animate it, then unless you have multiple bones with this, it's not. It's going to sway, but it's going to sway like a flat object. But it's going to have definition, which would normally sway opposite. So it means it's going to either drastically increase the complexity of the motion or something. The tail itself is going all the way to the floor, which is kind of weird. But you can just shrink the size. And the outfit probably does work better, though technically by being bent, they could have just hit it underneath there. I like the G-Bond SFM. That's kind of neat. But this is trying to be cutesy. It does well, but I like this one because it just seems so utilitarian.
Mm-hmm. It seems more Twilight.
And the other one that is super crazy to me, it's... You put it crazy with crazy, which doesn't always mean double crazy. Sometimes it just goes the other direction and it starts putting it towards something. Yeah. I like this model because it's just simple. Then the stupid antics that is performed is what makes it funny.
It looks like Twilight just threw on a live quote in glasses and said,
This will be frickin' sick!
Gotta make science.
So that looks pretty good. These tails don't matter.
Now fire the rocket!
Okay, so right here.
Fire the rocket!
Look into my eyes. You will see. Oh. Goodbye, Twilight. You're in the upside down. Oh no.
Literally.
We've come back to a new.
No, so I have been constantly zooming in.
Yeah.
So now I've zoomed in so far that I went backwards through time and am now in a mirror universe.
Oh,
to
no.
where if I move up, I go down.
That would get annoying.
And if I keep going,
You'll break it. Or you'll fix it.
or no, I'm still zooming. Yeah, I'm still zooming in. Nope, still backwards. So if I let go, then immediately grab again. Oh, it's still messed up. So that's just the work camera, and now I'm back to normal. But yeah, if you keep zooming out, it zooms in until it goes into reverse time, and then you go back into reverse, and it mirrors everything in the world. It's really weird.
Yeah.
The other thing too is these locks only move left and right. Well, because they're curved, and actually if I turn them with it, it curves with the motion. It makes it look a lot better, which is one reason I like these too. So if I say I curve these to where now they're angled out, it gives the false impression that they're moving more than they are.
The racket! Hypothesis. The racket! Hypothesis. This will be frickin' sick!
Pony pit.
I like this pose. I don't know. She just goes from fucking crazy to be like, "Fuck, we're doing it." Hello, two-tailed. Yes, this will be the last pre-sequel Twilight, though. Sadly, not that I don't want to do more, but she has a lot of golden audio, but to try to keep it unique, I'm not going to be able to keep up with it. There's already reused audio right here.
Science!
That's the one from 2 ago. So there's still good audio, but it's just far and few between.
Now, fire the racket! Racket! Hypothesis. This will be frickin' sick! This will be frickin'
Oh, that bounced. I was like, wait, it goes frickin' everywhere. Okay, so this is going to need to bounce a little bit to the right. So we're going to go a little bit to the right. A little bit to the left. So how's it going, Tailed?
frickin' sick! Frickin' sick!
That's the face you make when you stub your toe.
That's the Lego stepped on Lego face. Jeez, death.
But no. Okay, so that's the face after the pain hits. Before the pain hits, it looks like oh. Like that. Because you know it's coming.
It's like
And then you go, ah!
things just happening.
There we go. Ah! Ah! Ah!
That's when you throw out all the Legos. And you make the choice.
Oh, damn, yeah, I just
What was that?
Huh?
Oh, that's you.
What?
I can hear my headset in the other room and you're just screaming.
Oh, you got the stream open over there? You're buffing my numbers, man.
This will be frickin'
Don't be
sick!
in it.
I can ban you. Where are you?
Ban me, no. I'll disappear forever.
No, you're not on there. Oh, no, you're a moderator.
Moderator. If you ban me, I won't be a moderator no more.
I can't whisper you.
Are you trying to message me? I'm sitting right here.
You might not be able to hear me.
I have to run into the other room and message you back.
Apparently, it didn't pop up with my message thing, so.
This will be frickin' sick! Sick! Sick!
Okay, what was it doing?
Sick!
You were,
Oh, yeah, so when her head. When her hair goes down like this.
Did you fix your mouth?
Yeah.
Okay. She's got a girl face there.
Frickin' sick! Frickin' sick! Frickin' sick! Frickin' sick!
Yes. She's big on the science.
This will be frickin' sick!
Okay, that looks pretty good.
Now fire the
It's a magical unicorn.
Now,
doing science, so that
Oh.
would not be amazing. Everything must be explained
Now.
scientifically. How are you holding my Ruger right now? Magic. One question. I am a unicorn.
Now. 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 Now.
Yeah, the shadow in her lap, dude. On her butt.
Where?
Oh, there.
That's her wing.
Oh. I'm not used to her being an alicorn yet.
It's been most of the series.
Now.
It was end of season 2?
3.
How many seasons has there been?
We're on 9 now.
She's been an alicorn for 2/3 of her
I'll
life.
never get over it. Damn you, Larson.
Now. Now.
She saw a spider.
No.
Spider! Spider! Fuck! Ah, shit! Run!
Not spiders. No.
Run! Okay.
Did you leave him?
She's going out.
Yes.
Fuck! Works for everything.
It's a very versatile word.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that looks pretty good. Oh. A little to smooth this out a little bit. It's fine.
The face. I like that face. Just so mischievous.
Ho 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 ho. All your base are belong to us. Make your time.
Say what?
Tur-
What say? I suppose. What say you?
What say you?
What say you?
Someone has set us up the bomb.
Oh, the early translations are the best.
Well,
That
that one was the pinnacle.
Yes.
Blurred about even catch the reference.
It's an old one, but that checks out.
Racket.
That's usually said by somebody that doesn't catch the reference. You either do or you don't.
The early days of the internet. As we right along there with peanut butter jelly pie and the Nuba Nuba guy.
Numa Numa.
Said, Nuba Nuba, yeah. Nuba Nuba, yeah. Nuba Nuba, Nuba, yeah.
Racket. The racket.
It's the internet things.
Well, no, it's still the same way, but it's like they say they did a study on it. They found that popularity on terms of meme level is 100% luck.
Yeah.
They took all things that were considered to be of equal value, and none of it found any correlation to what the value or the quality was to the actual popularity. It's all luck, and a lot of it comes down to, it's like for the Rathalos things I've been making, some of them I feel are much better, and many of them are, but some of them got the right person to retweet at the right time to get to a retweet at the right time of somebody else that had 60,000 followers.
Yeah.
And then that was the boost. So it's all luck, because it's not, and I hate saying it, it's not small people that make small people popular. It's the right big people coming in and giving those things to the smaller people.
I think those early memes had the advantage of there weren't many things on the internet.
Oh, okay, Blurtable, you're forgiven.
Like, I know who wasn't fortunate, but he wasn't even reposted.
Now, fire the rockets! Oh,
I feel like a lot of these, her mouth isn't actually closing, so E doesn't have an open. So I'm going to go more angry, close the open, get rid of the wide. No, not wide. The shout. We can add more grin. And then I'm just going to bring the lower lip down to give more teeth visibility.
now, fire the rockets! Now, fire the rockets!
Yeah, that's much better.
Now, fire the rockets!
Okay, understand the need for teeth. We're going to remove a little bit of it, and we're going to put more pucker in. And here we're also going to put more mouth O in and close it just a little bit.
Now, fire the rockets! Rockets! Rockets!
Okay, here I'm going to get rid of a little bit of the shout. No, it's not shout. Danger. No, worry? Yeah, get rid of a little of the worry. And increase the teeth visibility. And we're going to bring that lip down again.
Rockets! The rockets! Rockets!
We're also going to take the early part of this teeth bit. We're going to shift it a little bit to help maintain the E.
Rockets! Fire the rockets! Now, fire the
Okay, she needs more of an not danger should do that. Or angry.
Now, fire the rockets!
Yeah, that's much better.
Now, fire the rockets!
Okay. I did not like that lip sync.
Hypothesis. This will be frickin' sick!
That's fine for an end face there.
I'll fire the rockets! Hypothesis. This will be frickin' This will be
Don't like the F. Th requires a bit more lip in there. I'm thinking Ka is going to work, but it does a lot of other things to the face. Oh, so her eyes are already closing. So I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna remove some of the angry. We'll do that, but I'm gonna do some lip bite too. In there. Oh, I have a jawbone, don't I? Aha! That should be better. Small and minor, but alright, I feel better about that shot already.
Now fire the rocket! Now fire the rocket! Hypothesis?
Okay, what were we doing? I think I was working on her beautiful locks. I think these are done.
Now fire the rocket! Hypothesis? This will be frickin' sick! And sick! And sick! Frickin' sick!
Thought you were done with the
And
tail.
sick!
I don't feel that they accurately take the time they need right here.
Sick! Frickin' sick!
That's better.
Frick! Sick! Sick! Sick and sick!
Because if the gravity just suddenly stops right here in this close-up, your guys are going to be drawn to something that just didn't seem right. So I need to make the physics match. And it's clipping glasses a lot, but I don't care because it's hair. It's going to clip.
This will be frickin' sick! It will be frickin' sick!
But clipping through the to where I can see the glasses, that doesn't make any
Now
sense.
fire the rocket! Hypothesis?
Okay.
Now fire the rocket! Hypothesis?
Okay, and your ears. Smooth, smooth.
Fire the rocket!
Oh, that really didn't do anything. In by half, then a whole bunch more smooths.
Now fire the rocket!
He still wobbles. Oh. Because I was on the wrong model for that. There we go.
Now fire the rocket! Hypothesis?
Okay, your tips are still doing something.
Now fire the rocket! Fire the rocket!
I think that's just her head.
Rocket!
Yeah, her head's twitching, that's why.
Now fire the rocket!
There. That's what
Now
it is.
fire the rocket!
Tail's done, that's done.
Hypothesis?
Just doing this hair. Oh yeah, this is the wrong head for that. Twilight. Manifest not found. You will be unable to run specific Windows English fast files to queue.
I knew Windows was in the horse world.
Error out of date. Links will now terminate. No.
stuff is broken.
I can't read that one. That's Windows 98.
Now. Now.
My first computer, so I
Now.
Mm-hmm. I remember playing Duke Nukem 3D, doing Map Maker. That's what made me want to be a game developer, and thank God I never did that. Magic the Gathering, the first one on PC, that game was great. It was like a traditional JRPG with card mechanics.
That
was from the 90s.
Windows 3.1 I had. It came
Now.
with King's Quest 6.
Yeah, I played King's Quest. I had it at my aunt and uncle's. I didn't have it myself.
Did you ever finish it?
I only played it at my aunt and uncle's.
So,
No.
I was good game.
Now.
That got me into the Sierra title. Like the one I was showing you that one day.
No, we were only over there every now and then because they're like not near here. But we had pretty good computers early on because we had my dad worked for IBM, and so we ended up getting like computers before they had hard drives, and you would solder RAM onto it, and so we had we had Jumper Man and Alley Cats. They were great games, and there's pictures of me playing in my diaper. I'm 34, and me playing diaper games as an old computer, and but with like these giant cartridges to put in for the games and the 5.5-inch floppies.
Oh, I remember that.
But then we ended up getting a Mac for our next because my dad left IBM, because I originally learned typing on a typewriter before we even had a keyboard or whatever. I loved it. We had 20 of them.
Typewriters?
Because he was a typewriter repairman. What do you think? He had typewriters all over the place.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, he had typewriters all over. Yeah, we ended up getting a Mac with like a 400 megabyte hard drive, and it was an early Mac. I think the only thing I really played on was Command & Conquer, the first one.
I think I remember my first computer having 8 megabytes of RAM. And
Our first one didn't have any megabytes.
Well, yeah,
It was kilobytes.
Kilobytes.
But that was again when your father works at IBM, you get some of the early stuff, but they were like nothing. They barely could do anything.
Yeah.
And he's like, and they were expensive too. He says he spent a lot of money on those things, and that was with work discounts.
I'm sure. Well, top of the line.
And that wasn't top of the line. He was just, but he was able to get it for cheap, so why not? But
It's crazy how far computers come in the last 30.
well, the what do they call that law?
The one where every 10 years.
No, it's not every 10. It's every 16 or 18 months.
Yeah.
Haswell's law or something. I don't know, but it was a law that computers would double in speed every like 12 to 18 months, and it followed through until the last couple of years, to where the amount that they can't get any smaller, so they do multiprocessor, and it slowed things down. They say quantum computing is the only thing right now that's really going to speed things up.
Yeah, they're still in super good shape. But I remember when flash drives came out and we played floppies. That was crazy. Because I was using a floppy which contains 1.14 megabytes of data. And all of a sudden I had this 512 megabyte flash drive. I thought, how does it get any bigger than this? Holy shit.
We are now at the point where we don't, data size isn't about like, oh, wow, a petabyte. We don't even think about like that being big anymore. No, my dad said originally when they were, they had technology coming out that he says that at IBM they got everybody together and they said there's this new thing coming out and you have to know what this is 'cause it's going to be big for your job. There's this thing coming out called a hard drive, and they're like, and you're not going to believe this, but it can hold 20 megabytes. And they said, holy crap, what are you going to do with all that space? They didn't know what to do with it.
I know.
Because they're like, you could fit everything on there.
I felt the same way when they started putting out terabyte hard drives, and now I'm filling them.
20 megabytes though.
I know.
Now with 20 megabytes, we have a picture. A porn can be bigger than 20 megabytes for a picture.
Yeah.
It was so stupid.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he goes, we look back now and you just go, wow. Like, because he says even that meeting, 20 megabytes, within a year it was 10 times that. Technology at that point was exploding in terms of going forward.
Yeah. Now they're hitting the limits of what the current technology can do.
Well, their limits isn't the technology, it's quantum physics.
Yeah.
Like, you only have so much that you can do before physics stops you from doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why quantum computing and stuff is going to be important, or finding materials that can work better. But even then, you're down to the point where quantum tunneling is like that electron could just literally stop existing there and re-exist here. So what do you?
Quantum computing.
Yeah.
Quantum computing will change a lot of things. Mostly just the speed at which you can transmit data across.
Not just on the speed. You still have speed of light. That's still our issue.
With quantum computing, I didn't think it was.
No, if you're talking quantum, if you're doing
entanglement.
Quantum entanglement's like way off. Quantum entanglement is about entangling two particles, but the amount of energy and time it takes to keep things entangled is so enormous that it's not even worth it. So it has a potential, but they say that science fiction has blown it out of proportions as to what it can potentially do. That there's still some issues with it. So because it's not speed of light, it's speed of information. That's what it's supposed to be called. Light is just the fastest information can travel. But quantum computers aren't about that. It's about using the state of an atom and its spin to determine yes or ones and zeros. But the thing is that in the quantum bit, you can get 1 0 and a third number. You get 1 0, 1, and 2 because you can guarantee 3 states. So you would be able to immediately gain 50% in terms of processing power by being able to transmit 50% more data in one go. But that would also take all our current computing. None of it would work on those computers. Yeah. Because everything goes down to machine code, which is in zeros and ones. So it all had to convert.
You have to add in 2.
Yeah, or whatever they call it. But it's essentially 0, 1, and then in between. A 1.5 or a 0.5. Yeah. But so yeah, quantum computing is nothing about the entanglement, though the speed of light is an issue in computers, to where the longer the cable is, you can actually change your time. That's why they have RAM built into the processor. But the main thing is it's using the spin of individual atoms. So then you're not looking at trying to build things that are multiple atoms across. You can now shrink it down to a single atom that is doing that. Storing your data. Transistors are single atoms. That's what they're looking at doing. And that is just space-wise, it's not going to be any faster for transmitting, but you're shrinking the size down multiples on top of each other.
Do a lot more with less space.
A transistor itself has to be like multiple atoms and a lot of stuff. The smallest.
Ridiculous.
I don't know. So it's fascinating stuff, though. But we're still a ways off from seeing widespread use, because for normal computers we saw supercomputers getting the first of it. I'm thinking that'll be the same thing. You'll see quantum supercomputers before you'll see standard everyday. They have to improve the technology for the people that have the money to improve it first.
Just remembering that one Futurama's game, that kind of nightmare. It's like, I dreamed of a tube. I was just like, there's no such thing as tube.
I miss Futurama.
Futurama's great. Bender dreamed of a tube.
And I saw a tube.
Hypothesis.
I remember that episode. I went on a Netflix spree for a while to catch up on all the episodes.
Futurama's a great show.
I'm glad they cut it out, though.
I mean, it ended on Fox, and Comedy Central picked it back up. For
But then they ended it on a really good note, and they stopped it before it became redundant jokes, like Simpsons or something. Yeah. They stopped it at a really good point. The reason we think it's so good is because it didn't whimper. It didn't just keep going until we forgot about it. Yeah. It stopped on a good note, so we all remember it. That's where all the good ones should go.
It had a lot of good memes, too.
Yeah.
This is now fire the rocket. Now fire! Now
Computing some things will be very different.
fire!
I mean, you could use it with old technology, but you have to have some sort of translator between the two.
But at that point, you're losing any potential gain.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about for adapters between the old and new is to help the transition. That would be one heck of a transition.
Fire the rocket!
Yeah, it will be, but I think it's too far off right now to worry about.
Hypothesis. Now fire the rocket!
I don't like how
Now
this hair is tripping out right now.
rocket! Hypothesis.
But it's 9, so I'm not going to worry about it today. I think I've just been staring at hair too long. Alright, so... Alright. So yeah, that's it for today. I should be streaming next Tuesday, but something might come up, but I'll just see. But I should be. I'll put out something if I can't. So, oh yeah. I realized I didn't put anything on Steam to notify. Oops. Whatever. So, all right. Have a good weekend, guys. Have a cat. Kitty. And this kitty's like, what? This is raw. Alright. That's gonna be disorienting and a full screen person. It's okay. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
One.